Hey everyone, I'm Juanica, also known as Miss Astrology, and today we had a new moon in Capricorn. So today is Wednesday, January the 13th, and around 1 o'clock this morning, Houston time, the sun and the moon both joined together in the sign of Capricorn. And if you've watched any of my new moon videos, you know that the reason that I do this video after the exact time of the new moon is because the moon gets all of her energy from the sun, and all is completely illuminated and lit up by the sun. So when the moon is in the exact spot as the sun, she's too close to receive any energy. And this time is considered the dark moon and is actually restoring her energy to begin her lunar cycle all over again. So I bring the new moon forecast after the exact new moon because that is the best time to do any ritual work, set intentions, really work on your manifestation. Is about 14 hours, well, 14 degrees actually, after the moon and the sun meet together in the sky. So the new moon happened this morning. The best time to do any ritual work or set any intentions is going to be tomorrow morning, which is Thursday morning, or even really late this evening. And that's because now the moon will be far enough away from the sun that it's actually absorbing some energy. You can see her in the sky, and she's ready to move on in a waxing state of building up and growing and kind of growing this newness that we set, or these new intentions that we set at the new moon. So, okay, let's start. I have notes. One thing that's actually exciting is this is the first new moon of 2021. And it's the first new moon since the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. So we had a new moon in Sagittarius right before the conjunction. Then we had a full moon in Cancer. Remember, I made the video a couple weeks ago and I said we release these emotions, we release them with a blessing, these certain senses of security that we felt like we needed. We released all that because that's what full moons are. Well, now we are at our first new moon of the year, and since the conjunction and it's in the sign of Capricorn, this is perfect energy for starting new projects, new work, new reputation, new image, and kind of setting those new seeds, taking those new initiatives. So a new moon is beginnings, it's initiatives, and we have to remember what the moon represents in the astrology as well. It is our emotions, our moods, our habits, our sensitivities, our sense of security. And that's why this last full moon was so powerful in releasing, because the moon was in Cancer, so it was right at home. Well, now it's halfway across the sky, and the moon doesn't really like to be in Capricorn and much rather be in Cancer, the sign that it rules. However, this is a good energy to get our emotions in check, quite honestly, and to get more disciplined with them and to start fresh about, you know what, I have better control, Capricorn, discipline, Capricorn, and I'm more focused, Capricorn, over my emotions. My emotions don't necessarily get the best of me. I release those emotions. I release those things that energetically were holding me down. And the moon even represents our intuition, so we maybe needed to release some of those emotions that were clouding our intuition, and now we're ready to set new intentions with our emotions to really be clear, really be focused, really be disciplined, really to establish something that can grow on even, that can go on to grow and to be more and to accomplish more for us. So this is really good energy to set intentions, new intentions, initiations, beginnings, starting, new seeds, new ground. This is what Capricorn energy or new moon energy is all about. With it being in the sign of Capricorn, the newness that we want to connect to is new ways to be productive. Capricorn is a very productive sign. New ways to be responsible, be mature, new ways of like new establishments in, Capricorn rules the past and even karma. And this is a way for us to really set new intentions and new connections to our past and new connections to our karma. And so if you really did the work at that full moon of releasing our emotional connections to our past, and releasing our emotional connections to what makes us secure, now this newness says, you know what, I can create new karma for myself. I can create new security for myself. And emotionally as well, I can have new emotions surrounding my karma and my past, and new initiatives, new seeds that are ready to be planted that have to do with how I produce and how I am focused and disciplined and what I'm focused and disciplined on. Now, one thing we have to understand about Capricorn energy, it's very much about position, status, clout, reputation, image. It's the 10th house, so it's very high up in the chart. So when you're at the highest point, this is how other people see you as well. So this is a really good time to establish that, along with other Capricorn characteristics. This is a good time to establish a new connection to our patience, to our resilience, to our limits even, and to our reservations in what areas were reserved. Now I'm more disciplined in these areas. I'm more reserved in these areas. I'm more cautious. I'm more patient when it has to do with, and honestly, it is going to really matter where Capricorn is in your chart, what house Capricorn is in your chart, that is going to actually show you what areas of your life you need to establish new patience, new discipline, new perseverance, new structures, those things of Capricorn. So you really want to see what house Capricorn falls into in order to get a better understanding of that. Of course, you can book a reading to get further insight on that as well. Now, another thing about Capricorn energy, this is really about ambition. It's about money. It's about the bag. It's about status and clout. And so this is a good time to just say, you know what? I'm really focused on reestablishing my reputation and reestablishing my position and, my professionalism and who I am in my industry even. Capricorn is a very industrious sign. So this is really good energy for that. The other thing about this is when this moon, although this moon has reset her energy and reactivated in the sign of Capricorn, by the time we're really able to utilize the energy, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius. And actually, at the time that I'm making this video, the moon was at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And so the moon is also, because Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn and Aquarius also, Saturn is currently at 3 degrees of Aquarius. So Saturn is currently at 3 degrees of Aquarius. This moon was activated at about 23 degrees of Capricorn. And so by the time this moon is activated, it's moving through the next aspect that it's actually going to make is to Saturn, which rules Capricorn. And so by the time we get ready to work on our intentions, our rituals, our manifestation, this moon is going to be activated by Saturn, which is saying, yeah, are you ready? Are you ready to be more structured? Are you ready to be more disciplined? Are you ready to take on more responsibility and stand up and be more responsible and be more professional even in this area of your life? And so it's actually going to depend on your rising sign where this area of your life leads to. Now, also, we do have Mars that's currently at 3 degrees of Taurus. This is another earth sign. And so this really is putting our energy on focusing on what we can produce, how we can provide, what our resources are, what our abilities are. And so this is just really great energy to focus on that. And what we also want to keep in mind is with Saturn and Jupiter, and now we have Mercury all in the sign of Aquarius, that whatever this is that we're producing and that we're being steadfast in and we're working on and we're building, ultimately has to provide not only independence for ourselves, Aquarius, but also has to provide hope for humanity and for the collective. So this can't just be, we can't go back to those, oh, I'm just in my bag, I'm just going to do for me, because that all of that was destroyed with Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and Capricorn. Now we're on to Aquarius energy, which does have us really working in our gifts that are for humanity, for the collective, and to just better overall bring forth the revolution, the real revolution that gives us freedom, that allows humanity to be free from the limits, the patriarchy, the karma, the past, all those things that are Capricorn. This new moon is saying, let's reestablish those things, because we're now really have broke free from that. And we're even seeing it with society. And even though they're being, remember in that making the best of 2020, the webinar that I did, I talked about making sure that when you're in Aquarius, when all this energy in Aquarius, that we're not being rebellious for no reason. We're not being rebels without a cause. And I think that some of what we saw is just people just being rebellious for no reason. But on an individual level, because the moon is very individual, it's a fast moving luminary, and it's not really dealing with the collective. It's really dealing more with us as individuals. And so as an individual, it's saying to reset yourself, reestablish yourself, readjust your limits, your boundaries, your responsibilities, your professionalism, like readjust all that, start new, start fresh, take new initiatives on an individual level, because as individuals, that is honestly how we offer our best self, our higher self, the most we have to the collective, to humanity. And then we're able to do those humanitarian things and see more independence and more freedom within the collective. So I'm very excited about this moon. I feel really good in Capricorn season. I don't know how many of you know this. I am a professional astrologer and I love doing this, but for the last 7 years, I've also been a licensed real estate agent. And what I'm really seeing since Capricorn season has really had me being very diligent. And I must admit, Saturn and Capricorn does have a lot to do with real estate and ownership and that kind of thing. Specifically, when you look at the opposite of Capricorn being Cancer, this rules the home. And so this is always going to have kind of this opposing or this balancing act from Capricorn to Cancer. And so for myself, I've definitely been really in on real estate, and working on that, being very diligent in that. And then even because I'm a Gemini rising, Capricorn is in my 8th house, or the majority of my 8th house. And so this actually speaks to a lot of me creating a legacy that has a lot to do with real estate, and homes and that kind of thing. And that's really the kind of work I've been doing. And I'm very, very excited about this year. I feel like for all of us, if we can just see where Capricorn is right now, really tap into this energy and say, yes, I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to be responsible. I'm ready to offer my higher self to humanity. Because remember, after Capricorn season, we're going into Aquarius season. So from Capricorn season, we're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to be responsible. I'm ready to show my discipline and what I can produce. And we're getting this great energy from Mars and Taurus. Now, I will say that I do think on a bigger level that when Mars makes its aspect, which is actually very soon, Mars is going to make an aspect to Uranus, which is in Taurus, but Uranus is a generational planet. This isn't a personal planet. So on a bigger level, we will see, a disruption, I believe, to the dollar, to finances, as well as to the meat source or the food source, food production. We may see an increase in food production. I've been telling people I expect an increase in like meat specifically. But I do think that we're going to see a disruption on a bigger level. However, if we can stay focused, we can stay disciplined, we can stay really mature and continue to work on what we can produce, because Mars is in Taurus, continue to work on our finances, diversify our funds, because Uranus is in Taurus. We, really suddenly kind of even diversify the way that we eat and how we receive food and get food. I've talked about this before. If we can do that, we will be just fine. So I'm really excited about this moon. I think it's going to be great, and I hope this video helps you. For more specifics, of course, you can book a reading by tapping the link in my bio. I hope you have a good day. Happy new moon in Capricorn. Peace.